Oh, question two, right? Three now. All right, so question 2 is all of the above. Question 3, what did the Lord Jesus Christ say the angels would do at the time of his second coming? A, rejoice and be exceedingly glad. B, judge the living and the dead. C, gather his elect from the four winds. Or D, all of the above. A, B, C, or D.
C.
All right, we go back to Matthew 24. And, all right, we'll just read verse 31. 24, 31, Brother Samuel, please.
Matthew 24, verse 31. And he will send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Amen.
Amen. So Christ is reminding us and informing us and letting us know that what he is saying here is that we know when our parents need us or calls us, we are called by our names, and then we respond to him or to her, to the father, the parent, the mom, and all that. And so what Christ is saying here is that because each of us, God knows each of us, God knows all of us, God knows us. So Christ is going to send his angels and they will gather us. And then, to gather us means that supernaturally we will be called from wherever location we are, whether we are, at home, on the road, or traveling, wherever we are. Christ will send his angels and say, bring everyone. And so they will bring all of us and gather us at the presence of Christ, the place where everybody will be. And we also know Revelation tells us that there will be a gathering, a great gathering of people from the four corners of the world, and everywhere we are. It doesn't mean whether it's only going to be a certain time. It's going to be from everywhere, and all of those who are accountable, who are found qualified to enter his kingdom will be called. And of course, we, as I said from the beginning, our parents call us by name, and so when the angels are ready to call us, they will make a sound. That sound will be a sound that we will hear. We will hear because we already know the communication. We already know that we've been given that calling, and the angels will call us together for the kingdom. And it says elect. Elect meaning that we have been chosen, we have been called, we have been justified, we've been brought into fellowship, we've been given the heir. We are now heirs with Christ, H-E-I-R. So we have that qualification to enter into his presence. And so we are going to be from all the corners of the world, and from one part to the other, as Christ is saying. And so all of us are going to be gathered. So question 3, gather his elect from the four winds of the world is correct. And that is what will happen to us, no matter where we are. And so truth. Question 4, who will come with the Lord Jesus Christ when he returns? A, the anointed cherub that covereth. B, all the holy angels. C, God the Father. Or D, all of the above. A, B, C, or D.
B.
All right. right, we go back to Mark this time. Mark chapter 8. And we'll read from oh, did I say Mark? I'm jumping. Matthew 25, pardon me. Matthew 25, and we'll do verse 30. All right, we'll do 31 and I'll read. Matthew 25, 31. And he says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. So it is very, very clear that Christ, when he has asked his angels to, holy angels, again, remember, there are, in this world, we always have two. People always think that, you can be between. You are either saved or unsaved. You are either going to heaven. We always pray that we won't even say the other one. And so we are serving Christ. So those who say they are in between, we've already read what Christ says in Revelation, that he's going to vomit them. So one has to be true, faithful, or untrue or unfaithful. So that's why we always say that Christianity also has to be true. You have to be a true Christian. There are people who say they are this, but they are not. The power is not there to confirm their authenticity as a true Christian. And so there will be an examination to determine whether or not our Christianity is true. So here Christ is reminding us of what will happen when he brings his holy angels with him. They shall, the Christians, the true ones, will be able to sit and gather around him, around his throne, and that he will sit in judgment. And that is when he is going to be saying, okay, what have you done? What has happened to you all this time? Where have you been scripturally? And if you start saying that, oh, I did this, I did that, I did that, I did that, and then the question now is that, will Christ respond to Matthew 21, 7:21, 23 to say that, well, I don't know you, or, oh yes, good and faithful, servant, you have been faithful, and so come and be part of the kingdom. So we always want to pray for that God will count us accountable, count us worthy to enter his kingdom. So that is what our aim is. So question 4 is true to all the holy angels. Again, remember he said holy angels. So not all the angels, only those who are holy, those who didn't rebel, those who didn't go with Satan, those who didn't, leave their esteemed places and went with those who went to be with the devil when he rebelled. So B is correct, question 4. Question 5, of whom did the Lord Jesus Christ say that he would be ashamed on that day? A, all creatures great and small. B, whoever has only a hay and stubble in their hands. B, people, whoever is ashamed of him and his words. Or D, prophets. A, B, C, or D.
C.
All right. So that's now we go to Mark 8:38. Mark 8:38. Brother, please.
Mark 8:38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in the adulterous and sinful generation of him, also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with his holy angel. Amen.
Amen. So we can see quickly that he mentioned holy angels. So the point is that there must be a distinction in our Christianity. So he's mentioned holy angels. So the other angels who are, not holy, that's why we call demons, evil spirits, unholy. Those are not going to be part of the kingdom. And so here the Lord is reminding us again that whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. To say that, many times we don't realize it, or we don't consider it, or we don't think it's that of a big deal. But our Christianity, if when we are unable to act the right way, when we are unable to show God that we are really in support of God, of course, maybe I should use this example. We have, people who are fans, soccer fans, were in this place, football fans. When someone is a football fan, for example, Redskins, do you think they are ashamed to say they are a Redskin fan? They have their flags, they are on their cars and their houses everywhere. And that is showing that, yes, you support your team and all of that. Soccer and all, they all show that, yes, it is my team, this is my this. But when it comes to Christ, if you are a fan of Redskin and you don't show it, you don't, and people, they are playing, and you don't show your expression, you don't show your excitement, how will they say that you are truly a fan? So when it comes to Christ, he says that those who are not bold enough to let other people know that they really stand for Christ, when there are issues, when there are problems, when they face certain things, they are unwilling to show their stand. They capitulate, they give in, they surrender, they for example, somebody says, who is a Christian? They don't want to raise their hands because they are afraid somebody will pick them out. You say, oh, because you are a Christian, you are punished. Go and do that. They don't want to do that. They want to be seen as those who are undercover Christians, hidden Christians. And may God help us so that we don't, because Christ is saying something powerful here. Whoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words, which was the gospel of salvation, the message, if we can't even share it with our friends, our neighbors, then of course we know we all have these limitations that, oh, I don't want to say it to him, I don't want to say it to her. If they will know that I'm a Christian, they will reject me. I think maybe the rejection is more painful than the other, because they don't want people to think that, oh, you're a Christian, you go to church. No, I don't. We have to be bold enough to say, we have to let them know, because what we are doing is actually helping them spiritually, but they may not know. And so we should not be ashamed of God's word. We should not be ashamed to share it or tell anyone, because they may be, of course, it's different when it comes to work. In the office where you are not allowed to bring in, religion, that is fine. But when you have an opportunity, when it is interacting with the person, whether the coffee area or other places in the lunchroom, or when you are together, not in a way that you are broadcasting it to everybody, but in a personal way. There's nothing wrong with sharing your faith and letting them know that you are a Christian and you stand for Christ and you obey Him. That's what Christ is saying, that anyone who is afraid is also going to be afraid of the person and not, allow the person to come into His kingdom, because they were shy, they were afraid to proclaim that they are for Christ. And so a rescuing fan will never be ashamed. They are going to say, even if they are losing, they're going to say, I'm a rescuing fan. So how much more Christians? We should be able to raise the flag. Of course, there's no flag for Christians. People have thought about, the flag has to be this. No. The gospel is our flag. The message, that is our flag. So may the Lord help us. C is correct to question 5. Whoever is ashamed of him and his words. All right. Question 6. The Lord Jesus Christ said that there will be signs in the heavens and in the sea, and that the nations would be distressed, and then we will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Where did he say we should look when these things start to come to pass? A, up. B, down. C, away. D, around. A, B, C, or D? All right, let us go back to Matthew, or Luke, or in this case, Luke. Luke 21. Brother Samuel, please. 21, 22 to 28. Luke 21, verses 22 to 28. Please.
The Gospel according to St. Luke chapter 21, reading from verse 21 to 28.
22.
22 to 28. For these are the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days, for there will be great distress in the land and wrath upon these people, and they will fall by the edge of the sword, and be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. 25. And there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Man's heart failing them from fear and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. 28. Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near.
Amen.
Amen.
So, Christ is giving us the place to look. And, I think I've mentioned that before, but I like to look in the sky many times. And while I like to look at the pattern, the design, and sometimes I look more because of the plane and the whether there's a plane going in the smoke or the cloud, or how they go in, and so I have a habit of doing that. And even at home, when I stand by the window, it's not that I'm looking at people going, I'm looking what's in the sky. And so here the Lord is giving us also pointers. Again, what we are learning here has to do with the end time, things that will happen. And so we are to prepare ourselves. We are to be ready. We are always to be on guard. For these be the days of vengeance from God, God is now, going to display his power on all of those, and according to what he's already prophesied and written in his word. And so then, but woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And so Christ is reminding us that, again, things that will happen are going to be very difficult, and those who are already secured, those who are already Christian, those who are already, sealed by the blood and name of the Lord Jesus Christ will not be affected with all these things. But the rest of mankind and womankind, if we may use that word, they are going to face these things, because Christ is saying it's going to be it's going to be vengeance. It's going to be a very, very troublous times. I think in another part it calls it sorrows, and then these will be things that will happen to people, and then it's going to be a very tough time, and there will not be any deliverance for anyone who says, oh, let me run here, let me go here, so there's nowhere to hide, because at that time it will be too late. Those who didn't obey, follow, and listen to the gospel, as we read it somewhere else earlier, they are going to be angry. They are going to be mourning, oh, why didn't I? But that time will be too late. So verse 24 says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Some of this happened before. We remember that, the commander, the General Titus, he came to invade Jerusalem, and then they took people out. And so these things, and some of these things have happened, and the rest, when the rest of the prophecy happens, because prophecy sometimes is not just one time. It's happened before, and it may happen again, or it will happen again. So these things that are being proclaimed by the Lord Jesus Christ, they are not maybe, they are actually true truth and facts that one has to be praying all the time, that Lord save me, Lord help me, Lord prepare me, Lord give me the grace to escape these things. And verse 25, and there shall be signs in the sun, we've already read that, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, and distress of nations with perplexity, the seas and the waves. I mean, everything will be happening. So people who thought that, they've been afraid of earthquakes and this, there will be so many things that it's not just going to be one thing making you afraid. Everything will be happening at the same time, causing great havoc and problems. And as Christians, God has already sealed us and prepared us that we will not be worried. And here, verse 26 says, men's hearts and women's hearts failing them for fear, because they will say, what do I do? There will be nowhere to go. So this is the time God is calling us that prepare yourself and turn to God for men's heart and failing them, and women's heart for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heavens shall be shaken. Again, all of those things will be happening. 27, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when, 28, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth near. So, which means that those of us, we are going to be, when those things begin to happen now, God has said, don't worry, you are safe, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to we've mentioned about what is considered the secret rapture. Secret rapture means that you are here, you are there, you are flying, you are taking a shower, whatever you are doing. When God calls you, you are going to be, you'll be disappearing. You will disappear immediately to be with the holy angel, no matter what you are doing. And Christ is going to call us because we all have different schedules, and somebody may be sleeping, somebody may be awake, somebody may be eating, another person may be doing something. Whatever you are doing at that point, and when Christ calls, when the angels call, it means you are going to be taken. And so Christ is reminding us of what we need to do to prepare ourselves, because when these things begin to happen, don't worry. He says, you are safe. Your redemption draweth nigh. So we thank God for what we've had, and we will continue next time.